So now I have to really get these values correct to make that bathing suit separate from her body. Let's see. This needs to be darker here. I'm going to go in with a 2B just to get a little more darker. Just soft little circles. Soft little circles. All right. This needs to be much darker according to my picture. I made her hand too beefy. So I'm just going to erase back into the hand. And that's good. I don't need fingers and stuff because that's not what you see in the picture, is it? It's just her wrist and then this straightish shape, and then it goes this way. And then I'm just going to round it out a little bit so it's not so pointed. Boy, I really messed that up, didn't I? Let's try that again. 3H to do my water. I'm not going to mess with it too much. I'm really not. This curve here is important. Hold on, don't do anything yet. Let me get this shape down and then I'll walk you through it. Okay. So her arm is bigger here and then it goes way in and then straight down. And then it kind of curves like that. All right. And I need to thin this out. So what I'm going to do is bring the tube out a little more. And I'm just curving as I push to get that roundedness. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go in with the darker pencil. I'm not going to go crazy dark. I'm going to start light because I can always do layers and make it darker. Sharpening my 2B. And it's going to be darkest near the tube. Okay. So that's a 2B. Now I'm taking the 4B and I'm just going to do the very inside where it meets that tube. Okay. And her fingertip just goes out a little and back. Okay. The shadow needs to go up her arm more. And then it goes into lighter here. So I'm just going to go with my 3H and make it light skin. The light skin goes down her arm, but her arm needs to be darker than the water. It's all about these values playing against each other. Okay. This is very light, so I'm erasing that a little more. All right. There's so much that's going into this skin. All right. I'm going to take my folded paper again. Just get a new edge. And that's what I'm going to use to blend. I'm going to start with my lights, just rubbing the lights into the gray. Do little circles. Now I'm doing the bottom. And now I need to get this blended a little. Okay. All right, so the top of the arm needs to look more rounded. It flattens out up here on my drawing because I didn't make this dark go all the way up. So in the photograph, the crease is dark right down into the trees. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Her skin needs to go up here more. So that's my 3H. And I'm just going to erase the edge there because we don't want a line. All right. And then this, I need to make this darkness go all the way up. So let's see, 4B maybe? Just soft, so soft with this 4B. Getting closer to what I want. Doing it dark under that elbow. And the elbow shadow, it goes around and then kind of toward the edge of her arm. Darker here. It looks weird, doesn't it? Let's see. It needs to get darker here. Out to the elbow. Let's work on this tube because it's making the arm look so dark right now. So I need to get the values of the tube. So the seam goes out to her hand. Right now I just have the 3H. And I'm going to have some reflections here. Maybe of her arm and the sky and this thing. Okay. And then my tube gets dark down here and it's going to be darker than the water. And then it's white right there. And it gets, let's see. I'm using a softer, darker pencil for this shading here. Okay. And I'm going to get the under of the seam. I'm just dotting this. Let me sharpen it. This is an 8B. I'm going to use my 7B just because my 8B is getting so tiny. You can see how much I use it. 7B compared to 8B. So I'm just going to use a 7B right now. And the only difference, it's barely a difference from the 8B. It's just a little bit harder than the 8B. You really won't notice a difference between the 7B and 8B, and you really don't need both of those. I don't know. I should do some dots. I don't know. Some reflection of that. And then it gets dark again here. And then what do we have over by her hand? Okay, here there's a shadow of her arm on the tube. So that was the 7B. And then I'm just going to make it go lighter with my 3H. Okay. And then I have some arm shadow here. And where do I need my darkest? My darkest is going to be her hand. And that crease. She's got a couple of creases going on there. Okay. And then this needs to be, I'm using my 7B. Just getting some darker shadows on her arm under here. And then making it disappear as it goes around her arm. And elbow. Go a little bit darker here. Getting some back skin. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to work on blending it with my paper. I'm going to start where it's light with a new corner. And then, let's say, this round part of that elbow can't be there. That definitely has to blend. So I'm just dragging this corner of this until it blends where I want it. I'm kind of drawing with the paper, picking up some of the graphite and moving it around. And I can go back into that arm darker if I need to. This arm really shouldn't be white here. I'm just brushing the graphite around and letting that work as a pencil. Doing that darker shadow area on her back. Okay. Okay, so this all looks continuous, so I got to figure out what's darker, the bathing suit or her skin, and it's the bathing suit here. So just here, it's not everywhere. There's going to be areas where the bathing suit's lighter than the body, than the skin. So I'm going to go into there with that. This is the edge of that bathing suit. And I have a seam if you want to try to draw this seam. I wouldn't, it's making it too busy. Okay. So this is getting pretty even to the rest of the bathing suit here. The skirt down here is going to be the darkest because that is the shadow of the tube. But up here it is pretty dark. I need to get this much darker. I'm using a 7B, drawing very softly. And then I'm not doing the edge of the bathing suit because it gets a little lighter there because there's like a lip of the bathing suit. All right, and then here I have the edge of the bathing suit where it meets the skin. And here I should have, let's see, I need to clean this up at the top of her shoulder. I'm gonna go back to my light pencil, which is my 3H, make her skin for her shoulder, make it the same as the rest of the arm here. Let's do another layer near that crease so it blends it in. And toward the top of her shoulder, the skin's going to be lighter. And then this bathing suit should really be about here. That's the shadow of the bathing suit. Erasing right up to the bathing suit. Okay. I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, now I need to define those shadows on her back more. I'm going to shade under her hair. And this is just my 3H doing an extra layer. I can go in with a darker pencil later if I want to. All right, so right now you see this line I have, I got to get rid of that. So instead of drawing, I'm going to try to use my paper to blend that. And I'm just rubbing this corner of this paper, going in circles, doing whatever I had to do to get rid of that line to make it softer. And then I can get my I want to do the edge of the bathing suit, just a little here and there so I don't have an exact line. And it's a little bit darker there. All right, I'm going to keep that like that. So when I look at my picture, I feel like I went too dark with this, and it might be very difficult to erase, but I'm going to try to lighten up. I'm going to try to lighten up this edge of her arm, because when I look at the photograph, it looks like it's light and then dark. So I need not as light as the water, but I do need a lighter skin area here. And I think that's good. And this is where that dark shadow goes out. And this just really has to blend. So I'm going to use the triangle paper again to just blend this in. Now she's got a bump on her little hand. I'm going to get rid of that bump by using the 3H. So much problems with this puppy. Okay. I'm going to leave it like that. So let's see what we got. Something like that. And now that I'm stepping back, looking down at it, I'm seeing the picture has, this is going to be darker right here. So I'm just going to do it a little bit darker between her shoulder blades and softly make that edge disappear by doing soft little circles with this pencil. And up here, it's going to go right over to her hair. This is a dark area of her hair. I'm going to have some dark areas of her hair here. And then I'm going to go in with my eraser where this light shoulder blade is, and a little bit of back, little bit of her back here needs to get a little lighter. See if I can make a career out of it. Are you ready for bed? I see you undressing with your taking your.
Just getting hot. Bed already? You're leaving tomorrow.
What?
Bed already? You're leaving.
I know I'm leaving tomorrow. I know. I don't want to go. I was wishing when I checked in for my flight